Hey, how's it going, everyone? Just back again with another commentary type video. And so most of the stuff I post from this point going forward is mostly just going to be reacting to like other people's stuff. Again, I feel like I've gone through pretty much every book in the Bible on one of my live streams in the past, or just made a lesson on it. And so I don't feel the need to do those more because I think it's been done in repetition. It's enough for me. And so if people need help finding a particular lesson or whatever, or want me to do one specifically, I'll obviously do that. But I stopped doing that officially a while ago just because everything was pretty much out there and repetitive. But if there's something you want me to talk about, definitely just send me an email. I'll put my email down below. And, I'll point you to a video that I've done that relates to that, or I can do a new one. But this was an interesting sort of interaction. So End Times Teacher sent me a link to an individual who posted a video about me doing a commentary on my commentary about Tahar on the street, teaching Revelation 11, which is the most important chapter in the book of Revelation. But I know that it's just obvious now because, you really have two options at this point. With what's known, Mystery Babylon is very, very obvious. So the setting and the stage of Revelation 11 is very clear that it's America. And so you either can take essentially the quote Hebrew Israelite interpretation. I don't want to lump them together as if everybody subscribes to what GMS, for example, teaches, but you can take that sort of symbolic interpretation or mine. There's really not two ways to confuse that chapter. Either one of those, because it's either purely symbolic and representing groups of people, or it's what it literally says, and just exactly the way it reads, and sequential and all that kind of stuff. So it's nice in that regard. So this individual, I guess, was looking for a breakdown on Revelation 11 on YouTube, which is strange that somebody would be doing that. It's if it's already known and well established what it is, why would somebody be searching on YouTube for that? And so he might have been just searching for what GMS was teaching on it, but to be fair, because he didn't mention exactly what he was looking for, but he told me that he was looking for a Revelation 11 breakdown. And so came across my video, and so just did a commentary on it. I worry a little bit when people do that and then say that he's a heathen and he's not in the faith and all that kind of stuff. Shouldn't be teaching the Bible. When I don't know what his interpretation of Revelation 11 is. I've asked him recently on this video actually that I'm going to do commentary to do one. So we can compare notes and see what he actually believes. And so everyone's pretty quick to have like an opinion when they don't have their own opinion well formed. So they know what's not right, I guess, pretty quick. So he made the video. I just put some comments below, and then I just asked him, it's better, if we just talk, why not talk this out man to man? And I left my email, and then we had a phone conversation, and it was good. I mean, we got a lot more information conveyed back and forth than going back and forth on the message boards and then all that kind of stuff where it can get, unproductive and sometimes nasty and stuff. So I'm glad that he agreed to that. And so, this morning he made another video, kind of responding to one of the major topics that came out of that, and that is the remnant, that's described in Revelation 11. And so, I explained to him where I got that understanding in the Bible in 2nd Ezra, and then, he made a response to that. So, I'm just going to kind of listen and hear what he has to say and then talk through it. I want people to know just very high level this is all I can, share is that first and foremost, I've been asking him about the flat stationary earth. And so I've had this experience, and there's videos up with people going up to various members of these Hebrew Israelite groups, and they're just like, we don't want to talk about it. I have videos of somebody going up explicitly to Zabak, who's House of Israel, and he's like, he's still a ball earther. Like goes to Isaiah 40:22 and says that one verse supports spinning ball earth. We're on earth like flying through space or whatever, when it's talking about a circle. They don't even know that that the NASA and scientists don't believe that the earth is a quote circle. They believe that it's an oblate spheroid, like a pear. And so that verse does not even support ball earth, the current understanding. The atheist rhetoric really is what it is. And so, every verse supports flat stationary earth in the Bible, like explicitly stationary, and then flat is lightly inferred, and then you just have to look outside. I mean, it's just obviously and observably flat. And so that tells me that Zabak is an actor. It's just because no normal person go with somebody who knows the Bible, many verses as much as he does, would go and support something that's just obviously true with one verse in the Bible that does not support his point, like at all. And so, it doesn't make sense. Like, he will find many, many other verses to support his point on different other topics, but use one that tries to support his point, but it doesn't even support his point. And then he has no other ones. There's no other verse in the Bible that you could at all find to support that this earth is a pear spinning and flying through space. You can't. And then Flat Earth Doctrine and other people have made it. He'll literally sit on a live stream and just wait for somebody to come and show him that. It's like, that's how confident he is, and I am, and everybody is, that the Bible supports the flat stationary earth. That's what God made. And so I keep asking him just to kind of test his spirit, and it's the same response, that you get from everybody. And then it just gives me a nice feeling that I don't need this at this point, because we know that it's flat, but that it's true. Because there should be no reason that, quote, Bible scholars don't want to talk about any topic in the Bible, like Christ's skin color, Mystery Babylon, the earth itself. It's important to know the geometry of the earth, because we're going to go into these verses in 2nd Ezra, and it's going to talk about directions. So what direction are we going? Are we going east on a ball, or are we going east on a flat earth? It's very, very different. You're going to end up in a different place. Trust me, if you don't know. So these people are like, it doesn't matter, and all that. So this guy, he knows that it's flat. He's just playing dumb. I want people to know this is the psychology when I talk to these people, and I don't need to do this. It's just to kill time yesterday, but they're playing dumb on purpose. Like, he knows that it's flat and stationary. He's like, yeah, I know it's not spinning, but it's not sure if it's flat or not. Like, and I was like, played along, because I just, I guess we have to pretend to be dumb. That's why this world is hell. And so, I was like, well, if it's not spinning, gravity doesn't work. We've checked with the ballers, like, we even need to ask them, but you can't have an earth that's just a ball just sitting there, just not moving, and then the sun just hurling around it. That doesn't work in anybody's model. Like, no one would co-sign that. That's a real thing. And so it's just what we observe, that the earth is not moving, and then the sun is moving above us, and that's just the way it is. It always stays above us. There's nothing new under the sun. And so we're always under the sun. It's just very, very obvious. So the flat earth is implied. God doesn't say the earth is flat, just like it doesn't say Jesus Christ is black. It doesn't say that. America is Mystery Babylon. It doesn't say the end times will be on this date. It doesn't say that. We have to read, we have to think, we have to interact with the Most High. And I know now that this person hasn't, because he kept pushing that, the doctrine, and then, I'll take Tahara's point over yours. He's been in this for 30 some years and all that. These people claim to understand reincarnation. How does he know what we've done in past lives? No one knows. How does Tahar know who we were in a prior generation, and what quote unquote work we've done to support the gospel, and push the gospel and push the truth? They don't know that. And so they're pushing a very earthly metric KPI system for where the truth should come from. And so he's like, well, what about the name? Every time I would mention flat earth, this is kind of funny, actually. After a while, it got kind of annoying, but I was like, he's like, I kept bringing up flat earth, like, hey, like, why is it so awkward, to talk about that with people in GMS in particular? And it's just like, well, what about the name? He's like, well, why, how come you don't know the name of God? And I'm like, no, dude, that's great. Like, that could be my next thing that I'll do, is go and do research to find out in the ancient language how they would address Christ, in his physical form here. That would be interesting, but I would worry a little bit in just how accurate those, whatever those documents are. But yeah, it would be an interesting thing, no doubt. Now that for me personally, the flat earth has been settled, and it's very, very clear, all the debates and all that. That's what we had to go through, what I had to go through to get to this point. But I said that that's great, and I think that could be something that would actually be very much worth my time. And then but the flat stationary Earth is more important than that, without a doubt. Like, it's not even close. The flat stationary Earth is life changing, for a lot of us. And I don't say that to exaggerate. It's a life changing truth, and it's overnight, because you just look at a building and you're like, okay, it's not moving. And so why do these other people, 99.9999% of the world, think that it is? And then what does the Bible say about it? Oh, the Bible says it doesn't move. Well, wait a minute here. What's going on? It's not rocket science. And so their job, this guy, this from this channel, I'll call him Obadiah is judgment, Tahar and all these people, their job is actually to not allow people to go to God directly and bring them to them, and so they're going to show us here and everywhere that their teaching is crazy. Like, anybody who believes, just before Tahar even talks about anything biblical, that God is using him in a very, very, spiritual, profound way, when he talks about what he would do to women, having sex with prostitutes, Solomon's rod, the list goes on. We know he's just doing a money-making scheme. It's like common knowledge now, even amongst like other Hebrew groups who've left, GMS. We know that it's just a financial scam. Like, it's just obvious. And so I talked to this person just because it seemed like he was on the fringes, and his channel's not that big, so maybe he's not as heavily indoctrinated with Tahar's wine. But we know he's just an actor. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, we know a lot of people in the quote truth community are just actors, and so some of them will just admit it, like they'll just say, yeah, like even End Times Teacher, I joked around with him, like, you're an actor, and he's like, yeah, I am, but I'm a better actor than this other person. Like, he just jokes around about it. So when there's people that don't want to talk about certain things, or they're protecting people that are just, everybody else knows that they're just completely out of their mind, then they're actors too. Like End Times Teacher, I know he's an actor because of his position on the virgin birth, which is just obvious that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin, but because that's blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. But just the fact that he keeps defending Tahar, it's just more and more, it's just more and more obvious to me that that he's just an actor, and so he has a certain role, and he has to support Tahar, and then he's gonna receive the same judgments that Tahar gets. I just want people to know, anybody you go under that, and whatever that person gets, that's what you're gonna get. And so I just want people who have common sense, go under God, the God, actual God of the Bible, the real God. And so not somebody's interpretation, and all that kind of stuff. You don't even need to be that deep. We knew this in mainstream Christianity, that the God of the Bible will deal with people who are pure at heart. They're doing it for the right reasons. They're not doing the Bible for a financial scam. So we know that Joel Osteen and all these people are just Creflo Dollar, doing it for the money. So why would we look at Tahar and analyze him any differently? Like, we know that he's obviously just doing it for tithes. That's it. He doesn't want to work. And so he's suckered a bunch of people, a lot of innocent people, into just paying him to tell them lies. And so the earth is a ball, just go, don't go to college, just have sex with a prostitute, if you're feeling horny or whatever, just get it over with. It's no big deal. like I don't even know what to say. Like, this is, and I want people to know this is who this person's defending. And so he's going to keep saying that over and over. And so what he's finding out by coming to my channel, and other people who are now realizing this, that we now know that, first of all, Tahar's an actor and evil, and so we read the Bible on our own. And so that's what Flat Earth has done for me as well. We know that all these 501c3 Christians are actors and liars, and so we read the Bible on our own. And so once we do that, then God now has an opportunity to speak to us, because we've kicked everybody out of our house. Get out, everybody except me, and then God and the Most High. And so that's what's happened. And so I told him the first day of this year was the day that I was given the sequence, and all the tiles in Revelation were put in sequential order. And so all he has is like searching on YouTube to figure out what's going on. He can't tell me a day that he felt like God taught him something, tangible, and then showed it. And so for people who read or watch my video on Revelation 11, that's the day, that I got that, and so I just fired up my phone, and then I recorded it. And so I shared it. And so that's when I got it. I didn't know it the day before. And so a lot of questions were answered on that day. And so if it doesn't happen, then obviously that spirit that interacts with me was evil. And so, or just me, delusional. But if it does, then God did that. God sealed my brain with that sequence. And then I suspect that sequence is going to happen very, 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 very soon. It's not funny because it's scary for all of us, but that's what I told him, and so that doesn't mean I'm on something or doing something extra special, but yeah, God does interact with people who make his opinion priority and remove everybody else. I've kicked everybody else in my apartment. They're all out, and so nobody except God is allowed to teach me things, and then what's said in the Bible. That's it. And so that's a beautiful place. If people are not there, get there, because then you can like learn things, and so we know like Tahar is just for comedy. Like it's just to laugh at. So Tahar, like I said, is the type who talks about women and what he would do to a woman and all that kind of stuff. Like that is the vibe that we would ever expect from anybody pushing anything related to the Bible. Those people are just slated for destruction, and just for us to laugh at them and not be like them. Other Hebrew leaders, ISUPK General Yohana says that it's okay to have anal sex. And Zabak, like I said, is a ball earther explicitly. And so, and there's like videos of him on Facebook and live, and like just his women like just acting crazy, drunk, and all that kind of stuff. Like God's going to use somebody like that to go and push the Bible when he's like just has like just random stuff going on in his own home. So it matters, trust me. If anybody has not read the Bible, God cares, about what's going on in your home, and then what you're going to go and out in public and teach. Come on, and who else is there? There's IUIC, Nate, who thinks that the mark of the beast is like an embargo, which I don't even know. Like, that is like dumb raised to the power of dumb, raised to the power of dumb. Like, I don't know how somebody could even say that with a straight face in the times that we live in now. So I haven't watched any of their videos recently. It'd be kind of funny to see what they're teaching now. And so basically all these Hebrew groups, and Sakari has said recently, and I posted a video, that a lie is not the same as bearing false witness. So it's like, it's okay to like lie, but bearing false witness, which is like in a court setting. This is why all these people are just government agents. They're like, only when you're with the government and they need you to tell the truth, but not like on your own, like out, when the government's not around. So all these people just give it up, and so these are the people I want people to know that this individual thinks are the two witnesses in Revelation 11. I say this without a doubt with just what I just told you. And there's a lot more other examples. There's other channels that I see popping up that are explicitly just bashing the leaders of the Hebrews. And so I'm not talking about the everyday average people. Like, I still, leave hope with this guy that he figures it out with God, obviously. But there's like full-time people doing this, and especially people who've left. Like in particular, Yashar out Milwaukee, which I subscribe to, and End Times Teacher can't do it because like he's still, giving Tahar a back rub every day, and all that kind of stuff, which is effeminate. Anybody who just sucks up to a person just for the sake of any man, that's not a masculine thing to do. You thank them and that's it. You don't need to keep thanking them every day and like defend them and all that. That's a very effeminate thing to do. That's not what any of us want. Go to God, thank God, because any truth that has come out wherever it is on the world came from God. So you don't thank the person, you thank God. Even Christ is humble enough to say, thank God, thank the Most High, pray to the Most High, even though that Christ has done a tremendous amount for his people. And so he's not like that because he's humble. And so that's the way his people will be. So, that's the way the world is. And so, I know that if any of those people are Revelation 11 fulfilled, the Bible's a joke. Like, the God of the Bible's a joke. Just laugh. Who cares what he does? Because the God would be disgusting. Like, just an absolute, it's not even like it's slightly close, like I'm being too harsh on certain people. It's just like flamboyant, how disgusting these leaders are. And so again, it's not a shot to the everyday average people, because I think they're just duped, just like we've been duped with 501c3 Christianity and all that kind of stuff. So this is not a shot to individuals, everyday average people who they're siphoning money up, and so it's a scheme, it's a scam. And so the God of the Bible is a joke. If any of those people, those groups that I mentioned, are a fulfillment of Revelation 11. And so the Bible is just a big mistake. And then my whole life was a mistake. And I wouldn't, I don't know what to say. I would then be like, yeah, that God's stupid. Like, I would say that right to that God's face. If you're using these disgusting people to enact a very, very, the most important chapter in the book of Revelation, to then administer the plagues in Revelation 16, I'd say that right to his face, and we would all be justified to do that, because even us as sinners, we know that there's no way that that's consistent with the God of the Bible at all. And so if end times teacher is the fulfillment of Revelation 11, the whole Bible's a joke, and so thankfully for him, I know he's slightly human because he backs off, when he knows now that we know that that's not the case. And so he'll be like, okay, yeah, it's, maybe the two witnesses can be debated. So he backed off, and so wisely, because it's obvious, that God has told us this, that God tells us directly, not just through numerology, but just he tells us who the actors are. And he's telling us it's a lot of people, because when they interact with us, their spirit's not right. When somebody I talk to gets uncomfortable about certain aspects of the Bible and doesn't want to talk about it, then there's something else going on. When I bring up flat earth with this person and he just gets like irritated, oh, what does it matter, and all that kind of stuff. They're not pushing ball earth. He starts defending them. When I have a video on my channel of Zabak explicitly saying the earth is a ball, and like, there's a young girl there who's like, I'm a flat earther. And he's like, like kind of just like snickers at her. That's the truth. She has the truth, and she's there trying to learn from somebody who's a ball earther. And so she's wise in the sense that she'll go to him and then just learn the verses, and then like go study on her own and know that he's just an actor. But not everybody has that discernment. And so that's what the point of this video is, that that's all we do. It's like, but at this point it's just for entertainment, because not just them, we know like everybody's an actor on the world stage. And so we just laugh at them. It's just funny. And so don't take these people seriously, and we'll see from this person's breakdown that he's out of his mind. Like, he's just literally insane. And I've challenged him to do a breakdown of Revelation 11 and 16. Let's see it. Let's see the quality of this breakdown. I just want it when he does this, hopefully he does, I'm going to mirror it. And then we can just like, I may premiere it and we can laugh at it. Like, just how stupid it is. Like, they're going to have to say 3.5 years means 400 years, 3.5 days means 400 years. They're going to say 2 witnesses means 2 nations. They're going to say, people will rejoice and send gifts to one another means whatever. Like, they'll just make up stuff, and then that their dead bodies will be seen around the world, which prophesies telecommunications. You'll be like, whatever. Like, like none of this stuff will make sense. Like, Revelation 11 is literal and sequential. And then so is Revelation 16, and we'll talk about that briefly here. And so they won't touch those because God has not touched their mind. And so they're finding out that they've been lied to. He's finding out, he knows it. And it's not just me. He knows, just the flat stationary era debunks all of them. And God wants it that way. And so just know that it's a very, very potent truth, because it allows us to test people's spirits, just like Christ's skin color allows me to test people's spirits. Are they really just on some white supremacy? Do they really love God? Would they worship a God that is very, very different than a majority of the people on this earth? That's what it represents. And a lot of people won't. And so then their spirit's not right. And then when it's not shocking, they're going to say other stupid things. What does it matter? Oh, why are you bringing race into this? It does matter. It does matter a lot. It matters just as much as everything else is in the Bible, And so I know that this person's spirit's not right, but I hold out hope, and hopefully he comes to his senses. And let's hear what he has to say about. So that what I talked about in Revelation 11 was the remnant, and they're a group of people that the Most High has told me that they're off the grid, and they're keeping the law, because God cannot look down on the world just from the way the Most High is in the Bible. Is that he can't look down on a world and have everybody in a beast system and doing evil. God's law is eternal. This is what the Bible says. And so God can't have a period of time ever where the earth is not obeying, the entire earth is not obeying the law. The law has to exist somewhere on this earth. And this person thinks, this is funny, especially in lieu of what I just said, that the law is alive and well through these Hebrew groups, wearing a mask when they prophesy, talking about, prostitutes and all that, Solomon's rod and all that. They think that that's the law. I mean, it's funny and scary and sad at the same time. I want people to know that's not the case. In 2nd Ezra 13, we're told that there's a group of people, Israelites, that are off the grid. And God ministers them. And they're obeying the law. And so God did not have a point in time where the law existed on earth, even if it's in a small group, and then it just goes away for thousands of years. No, there are people on this earth who obey the law, and so the law has to exist, even if it's in a small group, forever. That's what it is. God doesn't like change his mind. Push pause on the law, just hit the pause button, and all that. no, that's the way it is, you know, and this is consistent with the God of the Bible because he's consistent, you know. And so just think about this practically. If you have like a house and you just rent out 9 rooms to like just people who are crazy and all that kind of stuff, like, wouldn't you want one room that you could go to and just like rest, you know, and just like, it's like somewhat orderly, you know, and isolated, insulated from all the other rooms, like soundproofed and all that. So you could still like have a person like rest and stuff. That's what it represents, you know. And so when God looks down on the earth, he can't just see lawlessness everywhere. He needs to still see certain people, you know, keeping the law. And then this is a select group, you know, and that's what we're told in 2nd Ezra 13. And so his position is that those people meandered their way on a ball, I guess, over here to America. And so let's hear this. This is mad funny. I'll actually do a part 2 because it's getting long.